Video journal start. Just quite a few things to try to wrap up into a single video package and ship off into cyberspace. A couple of weeks ago when I learned of Norm Macdonald's passing, I was devastated, especially because I'd been setting up a video blog to record for 10 minutes, and I ended up recording it anyways and not even mentioning it until a few days later. I was devastated. I try to make his family's tragedy about me, if I could. That's what I said about I had already said that about the Petito, Bigfoot, Petite Toes Petito, and washing a ton of laundry's families, if I could just make that about me. Okay. Now with A.J. Johnson's passing, a similar thing to mention. So I've done some research, and I'm ready to eulogize A.J. Johnson and take my shot at inheriting whatever character he had created in the culture, sending him praise. He won me over when I saw this praying mantis pose from the movie Friday, and in this scene, when they go inside the store, is when this song here is playing in the background. It's really, quiet to be heard or whatever. One quote from this song that's very memorable is, "Running people over like Christine." That's Stephen King's horror novel turned into a movie, and it shows an angry-looking car, 1950s car, and that's what the idea here is in this thumbnail. I have the song playing, and I didn't even realize until I rewatched the video that I just so happened, the video is linked in the description of this video on my Watch Later playlist. But the idea is, as it's a cover version of Dr. Dre's song, a white guy with an acoustic guitar, imagine that, white guy with an acoustic guitar making a cover song. And he says, running people over like Christine, and this is the scene that's happening, and that could be me almost being ran over by my character. Her name's not Christine, her name's Debbie, not to be confused with Debbie Mathers, who's spaghetti is one of the only words besides confetti that rhymes with Debbie. So anyways, son of Marshall Mathers pictured there, spoof of son of Marshall Mathers, son of Debbie Mathers Marshall here, and anyways, I don't know. So Lil Windex, I went into one of his live chats. I had a lot of good one-liners that I had wrote. One of them originates from the song Jump Around, and his name Lil Windex, his whole character is from one, it's like when Drake records diss tracks, and it's Drake himself on Saturday Night Live, and so he has an entire channel dedicated to Eminem videos in that manner. Okay, here's a video blog that I was going to make a couple of days, or no, just yesterday. It was going to be a long thing. I have a long introduction about it. For 40 minutes of introduction talking about that. And okay, so there's one quote, I don't know if it's from this one, I think it's from 1952, when the guy says, the best, why do soldiers prepare 7 days a week, all day, for something that's likely to never happen? And, everyone was worried about World War III back then. And his answer, the narrator replies, because training and planning, and preparation is the best life insurance policy. And so that reminds me of Willie D's quote today in his video from just now, and I left a comment on it. Willie D says in the video, what I thought I was hearing Willie D say, Rolling Stones can't always get what you want, quote. He modified the quote just a small amount. He spun the quote of lead singer of Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger. You know what mentioned is Mick Jagger in this video, if I'm not mistaken, and Praying Mantis. This is a video Lil Windex from just a couple of days ago. He mentions moves like Mick Jagger, or whatever that song was. If I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. Okay, so that's not Willie D in the thumbnail. That's TK Kirkland of the Kirkland clan. I don't know if that... I think that's the parent company of Costco, Kirkland, and Walmart. I'm not sure. What was I going to say, though? Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'm very close to hitting 1,300 videos on my watch later playlist. So, in an interview from 2 days ago, Eminem's new restaurant in Detroit, Mom's Spaghetti, Eminem was there, and he gave an interview, and the guy says bona fide, and Eminem gets triggered. He says, bona fide? Like, is that fighting words? And it is fighting words, because in AJ Johnson's interview on DJ Vlad, he mentions the keyword of boneless. When he's trying to hit, AJ Johnson's jokingly talking about, so what this lawsuit from 2 months ago, just before AJ Johnson passed away, with his agent, talent agent, was suing AJ for $2,000 because of car rental fees. That's all that I can gather from this. That's why I started this video journal just now. And AJ talks about, I'll have to add it to the list. On DJ Vlad's interview with Vlad TV, I know his video blogs are too long. DJ Vlad's wrong. Vladimir. Anyways, okay, so AJ mentions trying to run over someone like Christine, right, in this song. He's referring to that. Dr. Dre's quote, running friends over like Christine, the car from the Stephen King horror novel, and that's in this song from the Friday soundtrack. If you search this song, it's on the Friday soundtrack. And in this scene is when it's played. And so the idea is trying to hit someone, and they're a boneless person. And that's mentioned in all of my recent vlogs from last month about mosquitoes. And all the Art of War books about Know Thy Enemy. Most people don't know thy enemy. On Wikipedia, for mosquitoes, it says 80% of humans who ever walk the earth, their cause of death can be attributed to mosquitoes. 80%. Some estimates say as much as 95% or as little as 5%. That's an enemy. People don't even know what it is. And they look like they're really sturdy. And it turns out that they're springless. Or they got springs. They're made up of springs. They're boneless, right? And so, in my opinion, that was the turning point for me when I was won over from AJ. I didn't know why Eminem got so upset when the interviewer mentioned bona fide meals at Mom's Spaghetti, and until I heard AJ Johnson interview on DJ Vlad. And so, in my opinion, Eminem was he's also upset about it, and he doesn't want to show his a depressed attitude, for morale's sake. He's responsible for the morale and non-depression of millions and millions of his followers. So I have 30 subscribers on YouTube, so I don't feel so responsible. I think I said a whole lot of the things that I wanted to say. Definitely check out how the theme of this video, Chris Tucker's in the music video. That theme can be seen in the video that's linked in the description of my video here. I don't know if I can show that or whatever. But it's just so ironic that I just so happened to include in the soundtrack as I'm recording it when I forgot that the line of the song, running people over like Christine. So I have to add tons of videos to this Watch Later playlist, like the movie Christine trailer. And, my character's named Debbie, not to be confused with Debbie Mathers, mother of Marshall. Salute. I rarely salute. I never salute. Okay, so I'm going to briefly show Willie D video from just now. I made 2 comments on it. I'm going in. I'm going to open the video. Could I have... So it's at the very end when Willie D mentions it. Here's my comment here. Did I turn on the captions? I'll try it again. When you try sometime, you just might find you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. Okay? All right. The first time that I heard, someone talking about life insurance, definitely check out Jay King's podcast on Blog Talk Radio. That started in like 2008. I didn't find it until 2014, and it's hard. It's a 2-hour radio show every day from 2008 all the way up to today. He's out of Sacramento, and he is the de facto governor of Sacramento. In my opinion, I would vote for Jay King to be governor of Sacramento, although I've never resided in California. I've only ever been virtually to Los Santos, aka Los Angeles, and this video game here. So I'm going to briefly show how this is included. I don't know at what point in the video. I'll leave a timestamp if I find it. Yeah, it's at this point. Can't be heard. Oh, he mentions flying saucers. Music floats like a flying saucer. And so, in this video, the guy the narrator mentions a flying sausage. And so, flying sauce and flying sausage is the key to understanding this stuff. There's a video game that I found about a year ago on the very official Steam video game distributor. It works on any computer. I've never had a high-end computer. It works on any computer. Windows 98, most likely. I'm just joking. The villains of the game are she-males or ladyboys that can be found during the Korean War, the movie Tropic Thunder, the Vietnam War, and Apocalypse Now movie, Francis Ford Coppola. In my opinion, a lot of effort was spent on this joke of what is a flying sauce or a flying sausage, trying to avoid ladyboys and she-males and them showing up. I would never admit to having any kind of interaction in something like that until, because no one's ever mentioned it, because this stuff is what happens in real life. But in this video game that I'm talking about, that I'm going to add to my Watch Later playlist, it can be taught to people virtually, and there's a lot of danger involved. Like Rakim says in Eric B. and Rakim's Follow the Leader song, he says, brothers tried and others died to get the formula, but I'm going to let you sweat, you still ain't warm. You're a step away from frozen, stiff as if you're posing. Dig into my brain as the rhyme gets chosen. So follow me, and were you thinking you were first? Let's travel at magnificent speeds around the universe. What would you say as the Earth gets further and further away? Planets as small as the balls of clay. Astray into the Milky Way, worlds out of sight. As far as the eye can see, not even a satellite. Now stir up and turn around and look, and stare in the darkness. Your knowledge was took. And keep staring, 'cause suddenly, Susan, you'll see a star. You better follow it, 'cause it's the R. And here's the lesson: if you're guessing, if you're borrowing, hurry, step right up and keep following the leader. I've said that so many times. On Russia's Pakner 24 channel, they said a Russian city that I can't remember the name of now added a mascot named Dave the Rat. And I don't know, that's a shout out to a Russian musician channel. In this video, she sings this Cranberries song here. That's not for the faint of heart. That video with heartworms. Here's something similar. I don't know. So I'm going in. These are the larvae right here. These look nearly identical to whatever these are that were found, busted out of my mantis, my female mantis right here. That's a lot of these larva things. They're all taken outside, their parasites. When I first got her, she was already turning brown, so it was inevitable. There was nothing I could do to stop it from happening. I was so sad about it. I'm still so sad. I didn't even say anything in this video. It has 1,000 views already. It's not for the faint of heart. And that's the resurrection, similar to how Sarah Kerrigan in the video game is resurrected. It's very sad. All around sad. Was there more? There's a ton of more things. There's always more. My other mantis is still alive.
That's Tina, who just gave birth.
I thought she had given birth. Yeah, I thought, but this is what we're really made of. And he's still good. That's, I don't know if I changed their names. I have a lot of creative names for them. Anyways, that's all. You know what? I don't know if I'll mention it. Oh, yeah, the whole reason I recorded the vlog is over here. Okay. Is my phone crashing? 10 years after of studying this book, I stumbled across one particular point. I might have these memorized in order. I don't have the page numbers memorized. Conceal your intentions. 16. It's right at the beginning. And it never matches up. It says 45, and this, in conceal your intentions, here is what the medical exemption is all about. So when people talk about being, or not medical, religious exemption, it's right here. This story on the side is the religious exemption. In 2016, I was reading this PDF in a movie theater. We were there so early that there was not even any previews. It was just like the advertisements. And I thought, this is so boring. I don't even want to have a conversation. It's quiet. It's boring. I'm going to read my book. And I said, you know what? I'm so bored that I'm going to read this part of the book that I never read before. And so compare this to what Willie D said in his video about foregoing one cheeseburger a week to invest in life insurance. So the idol of cheeseburgers or birthday parties. And this is the religious exemption. It's a long story, I know. And it's a personal thing. It's like a person has to be, it has to be concealed. Like, you can't teach someone this type of thing. Here's the religious exemption. A few people, it has to be, it can't be like pointed out or whatever. I can't make any highlights. Yeah, so change the word out, ball, like basketball or birthday party or burger, right? It's hard to explain. Well, it's not hard to explain. It is the entirety of the Old Testament and New Testament can be summed up in this one thing here. Right there. That's the most important. Even this book itself is centered. It's the center of gravity, like mentioned. I found this book in 2006, the author's third book, The 33 Strategies. That had me interested because I was into a lot of video games that had those themes. And so I read his first book from 1998, and that's all. So here is what the I object on religious grounds. I want a religious exemption or whatever. And people be like, on what grounds? You say, I'm happy to explain this to you. I'm not going to say it. It's like Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction or something. I'm not going to read this right now. Definitely check this out. I'll include it, the whole thing without saying a word right now. So from top to bottom. 3, 2, 1. So instead of concealing my intentions, I'm gonna be like 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1. All right, that's one part of it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's part 3. And right here, and my name right here in traditional Chinese is 2 symbols. One of them is guard, and the other one is big. So David means big guard. Anyways, that's all. Video blog over.